Hi, it's been some time since I recorded an intro for the group buy video, but I thought it'd be nice to just check in and provide some updates. After a long time of just posting group buy videos, I have been trying to post some other videos as my stuff starts to deliver. Making group buy videos isn't always the most interesting, so it's nice to be able to work on other things. I'm trying to push out these videos every other week to stagger between group buy videos, but sometimes work and life happens and it causes delays, so I'll just try my best. Another update that I have is that YouTube notified me on Saturday that I have unlocked the community tab. To be honest, I'm not really sure what to do with it, but maybe I can use it to push out group buy updates whenever group buy links go live, or when I hear news about certain group buy stuff. I'm not really sure how effective the current system is with the updates being under the main timestamp comment, so let me know if you guys would prefer that, or if you like the current system. Anyways, without further ado, This set is going to be manufactured by a new manufacturer called Zodia, which is the designer's company. Doing a quick search, I found an Instagram page for Zodia Studios, but it appears to be relatively new and doesn't have too many posts, which suggests that they're a new design studio/manufacturer. There are inherent risks when joining in a group buy from an unknown designer or manufacturer because they don't have past products you can reference, so it's up to you as the consumer to decide whether you're willing to take that risk. Going to some of the specs for these keycaps, the profile for these keycaps will be OEM and not cherry, which might be a deal breaker for some depending on what you're used to. When I first got into the hobby, I didn't think that the profile mattered that much, so I mainly bought keycaps based off the design and color scheme. But after trying out the ePBT crayon, which comes in the MP profile, I realized that it can drastically affect your typing speed. The keycap thickness will be 1.5mm, which means that it won't be too thin, and the legends will be die sub. Personally, I think that the color scheme doesn't look all that bad, but I probably won't be joining in on the group buy because I'm not looking for a green colored set. There is some risk involved with this keycap set due to the fact they're so new, but on the plus side, the keycaps are cheaper compared to some of the more established manufacturers. There is a possibility that they'll turn out to be a great vendor similar to Osimi Keys and deliver some nice keycaps at a great price, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. Although they are two different sets with two different inspirations, KAM Soaring Skies reminds me of Cat Great Wave. I think it's mainly because the colors are similar, and the lighter blue stripe on the left side of the set kinda reminds me of the gradient design on the Cat Great Wave. This doesn't really bother me, but I know that there are people who feel offended on the designer's behalf whenever they see sets that look similar. If you are one of those people, Hakata, the designer for KAM Soaring Skies, has already spoken to the designers for Cat Great Wave, and they were okay with it, so just chill out. Some people might find the light blue stripe to be kinda weird, but the designer explains that it's there to emulate the design of the ANA logo. It's not my cup of tea, but it does make sense after reading the explanation, and if you really don't like it, the base kits and alpha kits do contain keys to remove that stripe, so it's not that big of a deal. As with many KAM or CAT sets, there are plenty of kits being sold along with this group buy, with multiple base kits and separate mods and alpha kits if you want extras or want to buy them separately. There's also multiple kits to support different layouts and regions, and even blanks if you prefer that look. It's great to see sets offer more layout and region support so that people can get the keys they need for their keyboard, and I really like how they're both light and dark versions for many of the sets if you want to customize your keyboard a bit more. The novelties kit is okay, but not great in my personal opinion, so I think that the main deciding factor as to whether I would recommend picking up this kit would be the price, which hasn't been announced yet. The Heavy Metal Artisan takes inspiration from one of the cleaner looking novelty designs, and I think it looks pretty good as well. Overall, the set looks really nice with good support for different layouts. I am personally not going to be joining on the group buy because I feel like I probably need to limit my keycap purchases, especially blue sets, but if you're looking for a blue set, either light or dark, this is a good option that can be considered. GMK Dream Bird is a nice blue themed set inspired by a type of bird known as the hyacinth macaw. I really like the colors with the lighter blue contrasting with the darker blue chosen with the mods, and also the yellow color chosen as accents. If you prefer the darker blue and want a monocolored set, you can pick up the alt alphas, which looks good as well, but I really like how the base kit looks because it represents the inspiration well. Unfortunately, this kit does not offer much layout support at all, and only has a spacebar kit. It's probably not a deal breaker for most people, but for those who use rare layouts like 40% or Ergo, this might be a deal breaker. Other than that, GMK Dream Bird also offers a numpad kit, a novelties kit, and 2 metal artisans. It's my personal preference, but I don't really like the novelties kit or the metal artisans all that much. I'm just not a big fan of the art style for the novelties kit, so I wouldn't pick it up if I were joining on the group buy, but maybe some of you really like how they look. This kinda ties in with the metal artisans because one of them uses the egg design that is also found in the novelties kit. I don't really get how they came up with the egg design, but I think it looks kinda tacky. The eye design is better, and I think it looks a lot cleaner, but I also don't really like it all that much either, but I guess if I had to choose one, this would be the artisan I would go with. I think it's actually kind of a shame that the novelties and artisans don't have the greatest design, because the colors for the set is really nice. I am considering about picking up a set, but I'm waiting to see if other sets will be announced, because if there are other sets that I want to pick up, I probably won't be buying GMK Dream Bird. That being said, that's mainly due to the fact that I already have a decent number of sets, so I'm trying to be more selective on which keycap group buys I do join in on. If you're looking for a nice darker blue set, I think that you should definitely look into GMK Dream Bird. Similar to the Highfinger 75, the W1-AT also features a pretty bizarre layout, but this was taken from the IBM Model F AT keyboard, so there's a bit of history to where it came from. As you can see from the pictures, the W1-AT lacks an F row or arrow keys, but features a full numpad and 10 macro keys on the left. It's a lot more usable in my personal opinion compared to the high finger, but I am sad that the keyboard doesn't have an arrow cluster because it's something I use quite often while typing and editing. The W1-AT takes some design elements from the Frog TKL, which you can see by the weight design as well as the mounting style, since both keyboards uses the tadpole mount that Geonworks designed. I don't have too much to say about this board to be honest, but overall I think it's a pretty cool board. The layout is strange, but it's a lot more user friendly compared to the high finger, and the macro keys are a pretty nice touch, especially for those who want to program special macros but don't want a separate macro pad on their desk. If you are interested in picking up the W1-AT, I would recommend that you take a look at Geon's build stream, so you can see how the board looks like and also hear how it might sound. The Kage is the next keyboard in line in the Monoke Friends series, and is a collaboration between Monoke and Han Engineering. I'm not really sure what's going on right now, but it seems like the current market for mechanical keyboards has shifted towards TKLs, as there have been a decent number of TKL boards being released for group buy. I think that the Kage looks nice with a nice curve on the bottom, but other than that, there's nothing really that stands out for the aluminum version. That's why if I were personally joining on this group buy, I would definitely pick up the special edition, which has a polycarbonate case and a copper weight. The polycarbonate case is slightly transparent, so you can see a triangle, square, and circle above the arrow cluster. It provides something new so that the board is differentiable from other TKLs, but isn't overdone where it looks tacky. I used to not really like the look of polycarb, and I didn't like how light polycarb boards tended to be compared to their aluminum counterparts, but after building a polycarb board myself, I actually like how they look and sound. The special edition also isn't that much lighter compared to the regular aluminum edition, weighing in at 2 kg versus 2.3 kg, so if you're really concerned about PC being too light, it's really a non-factor in this case. The special edition is more expensive though, and comes in at $589.99 versus $524.99, which isn't the biggest difference for the keyboard hobby, but $65 is still a decent amount of money. It's priced quite similarly to the Cloud line, which was another premium TKL that recently went on sale. This doesn't really matter though since the group buy for that keyboard is already over, but if you weren't able to pick up a Cloud line, maybe you can consider the Kage as a consolation prize of sorts. There have been a couple builds for the Kage, so if you'd like to see the board and get more details, I would highly recommend checking out the build VODs before deciding whether you want to join in. Similar to the rise of TKLs, there have been a lot of different Bakeneko variations popping up in the market. The two variations that are currently live are the Ciel and the CNC Bakeneko from Breadworks. The boards are quite similar since they're based off the same board that was designed by Katano, but here are some of the differences. CNC Bakeneko is cheaper than the Ciel, but the Ciel comes with an internal brass weight, which will add a bit of heft and change the acoustics of the board. The CNC Bakeneko will be cut from 6063 aluminum, while the Ciel is cut from 6061 aluminum. I'm not an expert on metals, but based on a quick Google search, 6063 is considered to be the more premium aluminum. And finally, the Ciel will come default with an aluminum plate, while the CNC Bakeneko comes with an FR4 plate. Both group buys offer additional plates, but they also come in different materials. There are probably some other differences that exist between the two boards, but these were some of the more interesting ones that I saw. I'm probably not going to get either of them because I prefer having arrow keys, and I already got the Block 67, but these are some nice options if you're looking to get your hands on a more premium Bakeneko. It's great to see more budget boards being made available for the market, but it does feel like the market for a Bakeneko style board is quite saturated, so I'm kind of curious how these will sell. If you're looking to get a cheaper board with a good sound and typing feel, but prefer a more premium finish compared to Canon Key's Bakeneko, I think that these boards can be considered.